Macmillan Audio presents The Hour of Peril, the secret plot to murder Lincoln before the Civil War, by Daniel Stashower. Read for you by Edoardo Ballerini. In the hour of the nation's peril, he conducted Abraham Lincoln safely through the ranks of treason to the scene of his first inauguration as president. Inscription on the grave of Allan Pinkerton. It is perfectly manifest that there was no conspiracy. No conspiracy of 100, of 50, of 20, of 3. No definite purpose in the heart of even one man to murder Mr. Lincoln in Baltimore. Ward H. Layman, Lincoln's friend and self-appointed bodyguard. Introduction. Long, narrow boxes. This trip of ours has been very laborious and exciting, the young poet wrote to a friend back home in Illinois. I've had no time to think calmly since we left Springfield. There is one reason why I write tonight. Tomorrow we enter slave territory. Saturday evening, according to our arrangements, we will be in Washington. There may be trouble in Baltimore. If so, we will not go to Washington, unless in long, narrow boxes. The telegram will inform you of the result, long before this letter reaches you. 22-year-old John Milton Hay had ample cause for worry as he set down these words in February 1861. He had signed on as a personal secretary to Abraham Lincoln just a few days earlier, on the eve of Lincoln's inauguration as President of the United States. For several weeks, Lincoln had faced a mounting threat of assassination on his journey to the capital, culminating in a clear and well-considered murder plot to be carried out at a whistle-stop appearance in Baltimore. Over a period of 13 days, as the President-elect traveled by train from Springfield to Washington, a makeshift, self-appointed security detail raced to uncover hard evidence of the looming peril, in the hope of persuading Lincoln to adopt necessary and urgent measures before placing himself in harm's way. Leading the effort was the detective Allan Pinkerton, whose fame as a fierce and incorruptible lawman was sweeping through America's cities and out to the expanding edges of the frontier. Pinkerton and his agents were becoming legendary for their relentless, single-minded pursuit of lawbreakers, whose photographs were catalogued in a famous rogues gallery at their Chicago headquarters. The dramatic Pinkerton logo, with the motto, "We Never Sleep," coiled beneath the image of a stern, unblinking eye, became a potent emblem of vigilance, bringing the term private eye into the American lexicon. In Baltimore, however, Pinkerton would be tested as never before. The detective had built his success on a slow, methodical style of investigation. "Our operations are necessarily tedious," he once declared. But the rapidly evolving situation in Baltimore required speed, improvisation, and no small measure of luck. Pinkerton, who had gone to the city to investigate a vague threat against railroad property and equipment, had not expected to uncover an assassination conspiracy. "From my reports you will see how accidentally I discovered the plot," he later admitted. "I was looking for nothing of the kind, and had certainly not the slightest idea of it." Once on the scent, however, he pursued it with feverish energy, and he soon became convinced that dramatic measures would be needed to spare the President-elect's life. By this time, however, the train had already left the station, in every sense of the phrase, as Lincoln made his slow, inexorable progress toward the capital, determined to make a public display of openness and goodwill in the days leading up to his inaugural. Pinkerton now found himself contending not only with the conspirators, but also with the intractability of Lincoln and his advisers.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?